Good morning. This is November the 10th, first class after TR vacations. And before TR vacations, we had the last class on October the 29th, Tuesday. On that day, only about 10 or 15 people were present. Most of you were absent without any information. And I had a difficult time taking class because you were absent. Okay. And that day what we did is I changed my plan and then I shared my experiences of primary school in the 1970s and 80s when I was below 10, under 10. Then I invited some of the students to share their experiences of school life. What I did was I said, okay, let's imagine a scale of 5. And if you think your primary school experience was excellent, best, give 5 out of 5. If it was excellent, give 4. If it was very good, give 3. If it was good enough, give 2. If it was average, gave 1. And they did. Then I found that one of us had given 0. Right? Then I invited that student to share her experience because I thought that's important. We wanted to know why she thinks her school deserves 0 out of 5. And she shared her experience, how her teachers interfered in her privacy, right? In class 7, I think she said. And then we invited another student who had assigned 4 out of 5, I guess. And we asked her to share why she thinks her school is excellent or very good. And she talked about so many positive things about the teachers, management, and the environment. The purpose of doing all that was to make you understand the topic that we are going to study now. The topic is school is bad for children. This is an essay. This is an essay. So an essay normally has a medium length. It's not too long, although there is one book having about 400 pages, and the name of the book is An Essay on Human Understanding. So an essay might also mean a long research work, right? For example, a research paper is an essay. But normally we can say that essays are fairly of manageable length, right? You can finish them at one sitting. Now, once you say this is an essay, second question you should ask is, what kind of essay is this then? Then this is an argumentative essay. Argumentative essay, right? And as I told you last time, argumentative essays may raise an issue where people are divided in society and then they discuss the issue. Or an argumentative essay may raise a problem and then explore the nature and causes of the problem. And then it may offer solutions to the problem. It may propose a solution. Such essays this side are known as proposal arguments, whereas essays which discuss issues, they are known as position arguments. Because when you pick up an issue where people are divided, there are side, let's say A, and side B, let's say. So you might go with side A, for example. So you're taking a position, right? For example, should we allow abortion or not? So you can take sides now. You can say, yes, we should allow abortion legally, and you can say, no, we should ban. For example, Donald Trump has won presidential election in America, and now he is very clear. He says, we will ban abortion, because the conservative party in America is against abortion, whereas the Democrats are for abortion. Democrats say that a woman's body is woman's body, and woman has every right to decide whether she wants to keep the baby or abort the baby. Whereas conservatives will say, no, killing a fetus is murder, right? We can't allow. Sides, taking sides. That's position argument. Here we are talking about a problem solution argument, where you identify a problem in society, in an organization, anywhere. Then you explore the nature of the problem, and then you explore the causes of the problem, and then you offer the solution. This essay is a problem solution essay or proposal argument. The essay that we are going to read now is a proposal argument. Briefly, let's read about the author, John Holt, who was born, as you can see on the screen, in 1923. Died in 1985. He was an educational theorist. Many teachers, when they teach for decades, then out of their experience, they can think of ideas about improving situation in educational field. So they write books on education. For example, I have been teaching for the last 35 years. Now I can write certain things about education because in Nepal, because I have experience of teaching in Nepal for the last 35 years, right? Now I can think of writing a book on education. That will be a theory of education. So John Holt was a theorist. Who is a theorist? Who propound grand ideas on a topic that can lead the society, that can change the society. Newton was a theorist, Einstein was a theorist, right? So he taught many years in elementary and secondary schools. Primarily, John Holt was not a university teacher, he was a school teacher, right? Then, where? In America. And as he went on teaching, he grew as a critic of formal education. What is formal education? This is formal education. Look, you have to wake up early morning, you have to get dressed, you have to prepare everything, you have to follow the routine, check routine, keep books accordingly, you have to pick up the bus on time, then you have to come on time. Look, your teacher locks the door when it's time, he doesn't allow you to come in after 7. You are formally dressed, you are sitting in a classroom, there is an administration, there is a principal, there is a gatekeeper at the gate, you came by the college bus, you are following system, rules, very formal. Right now, I won't allow you to talk and interfere me because I'm explicating the topic I'm presenting. This is a formal setting. And John Holt said that this kind of setting is not very helpful for learning. Now we can test what Holt says because we are going to learn this lesson in a formal setting. If we can learn this lesson in this formal setting, then we'll think Holt is not completely correct. But if we really fail to learn his essay in this setting, we'll say, yes, Holt is right. Look, we are in a formal setting, and Divakar sir taught us the essay and get it. Okay. So he criticized formal education, and I explained you what is formal education, like going to school, sitting like this. In general, and the US educational system in particular, I was surprised when I read this line. And then I inquired some history of American education. I found that in 1970s, when I was in primary school, American primary education was also not very good. It was a surprising thing for me because I imagined that America must have had great educational history, but I found that India and America were similar. Today in the world, which country is topmost in primary education? Topmost. The best education in primary level is China. China is spending a lot of money and a lot of research on educating children. Particularly, they focus on primary education more. India focuses on college education. America focuses more on. Hand over to me, and you can take it later on. Please keep your mobiles in silence. You reminded me to keep my mobile in silence. I'll rather keep it in flight mode. Why in silence? Let's make a rule. If my mobile rings, you take it. Don't give it for a day. If your mobile rings, I'll take it, and I won't give you for a day. Done? Okay. Done. It's on the record, okay? You can't say I didn't tell you. If my mobile rings in the classroom, you take it for a day. I won't carry. If your mobile rings, I will take it home for a day. If I get lost, I'm not responsible, because I can't take custody of your mobile. I'm on the camera. If I lose your mobile, I won't be responsible. Okay. It disturbs, I was teaching and the mobile rang, and look, I spent 30 seconds talking nonsense, right? It disturbs. So I was saying that China has best primary education today. Japan has best primary education today. India focuses more on college education. America focuses more on college education. And there's an argument today that if you want your nation to grow better, you should focus more on primary education, not on college education. And to a great extent, I agree. Okay. So he lectured nationally and internationally about school reform. So while talking about school reform, last time I shared an experience with some of you. Let me briefly revise. When I was in India in my primary school, once my father got transferred to a place called Lakshmiganj. My father was a college principal. And we shifted to Lakshmiganj, a small town. And my father admitted me to the local primary school. In those days, we didn't have private schools. So he took me to a school. The name of the school I remember was Lakshmiganj Basic Primary Pathshala. And what was shocking to me, I was a new child there. And in those days, we didn't have bags, no school bags. We didn't know what is a bag. Our parents will have a square piece of cloth, and they will wrap all our books and copies in the cloth, and they will tie a knot, and we'll hang it by the arm. That's a makeshift bag. And then we didn't have desk and chair in the classroom. No, only there was a floor, cemented floor. So what we do, our parents will give us a sack, bora. We'll carry the sack. So we'll have our own mattress with us. We'll go and then we'll sit like this like this. No desk and benches. So one row, only 3 rows. The whole space was empty. There was a cemented board with chalk. No marker, no plyboard. And what teachers did, the class teacher came around 10:30 or 15, I forgot. He would take our attendance. Fine. After having taken attendance, what the teacher would do will shock you. He would They had appointed a class monitor. And who was appointed class monitor? The tallest, strongest boy in the classroom was appointed as class monitor. The qualification for being a class monitor was being strong. And the teacher gave him a stick, a very hard stick made of wood. And he said in Hindi, he said, मैं जा रहा हूं, अब तुम इन सबको मारते रहना. I'm going, you keep beating all of them. So the monitor was allowed by the teacher to beat us. There was no appeal to this thing. There was no place to appeal. So what he would do? He would go out of the room and he will latch the classroom door from outside so that we won't be able to walk out. And the monitor will tap, 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 keep beating on our head or shoulders as he likes. And we could not say anything. We couldn't complain. And he will beat us for 2.5 hours till 12:30. That was the intermission time, break time. At 12:30, the teacher would come and open the door. And we will run out like goats and sheep from the pen. Why would run out? We were hungry. We didn't have money. We didn't have tiffin with us. But we were hungry. So what we would do? Just across the school compound, there was a sugar factory. Big, huge sugar factory. And in the sugar factory, 50, 67 bullock carts came with sugar cane loaded on them. They were in queues to process the sugar cane. So we would go to the farmers and we'll say, Chacha ji, ganna dijiye na. Small children. The farmers will look at us. They'll feel kind. They will just take out one sugar cane, break in small piece, this size. They'll give us. We'll start chewing it. We will chew that for half an hour, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And our hands will go dirty with the sugarcane juice. Nothing to clean. Then what we'll do? We will run to the town for another 30 minutes. For 30 minutes in groups of 2, 3, 4, 5, we will run through every gully. We will we'll travel throughout the town. And after 1 hour, without keeping a watch, we knew it's time to come back. And we'll come running back to our classroom. And then the same thing will be repeated. The teacher will lock us and the monitor will beat us. I never told this thing to my parents for fear that the teacher will punish me harder. Thank God I was lucky that after 1 year, my father got transferred to another city and I got to join another school which was much better, far better. I joined Cooperative Inter College where I spent 6 years from class 6 to 12. Those 6 years shaped my life in a very positive way. And still I remember my school, and when I go to Google Earth or Google Images, I just write my name of the school and then I see the picture. I feel like going there again and again because it was a wonderful place. This is what we did last time. So I was talking this thing about this idea, school reform. So I was surprised when I was reading that even American schools needed reform. Because I imagined that a country like America has best schools in the world. But I read that the schools in America and India were the same about 50 years before. Right? Wrote a number of books. He has written many books. You can just Google. If you write Google books by John Hall, you can see. Very important. One of the books says, Failed Schools in English. It has been translated into Nepali. I bought one as Asafal Schoolaru, where he discusses, I guess this essay is from that book. This essay is from the book, Failed State. Okay, so The following essay dealing with the hazards of formal education. So see, if I ask you, what is this essay about? Every argumentative essay has a subject matter. So this essay is about hazards of formal education. See the use of word hazard. Hazard, H-A-Z-A-R-D. Hazard is a very severe danger. You are walking, and suppose you arrive at a minefield. There is a land where mine bombs have been buried because of wartime. When you walk, there may be a booby trap. What is a booby trap? There is a bomb beneath. You step on it, because with body pressure the bomb explodes and you get killed. That's booby trap. Hazard is that. For example, if you are a farmer and if you use pesticide, that's a hazard. If you are an electrician and you are working with naked wire, that's a hazard. Hazard is extreme danger. So this essay discusses the dangers of formal education, and it was published first when? 1969, the year I was born. In the world history, if you go to Google and type, why is 1969 very important in the world history? Google tells a story. A lot of things happened around the world in 1969. One of them was student uprising around the world. Around the world, there were students who protested against the governments and system in 1969. And it's important because I too was born the same year. Okay. Now, sorry if I'm showing this text. Actually, you know, what I do at home when I prepare classes, I translate the essay sentence by sentence in Nepali. Why do I do that? Because translation is a very powerful way of learning something. You read something and then you write that in your mother tongue. Tally it, and if you feel that the English version and your translation is accurate, you will never forget that. And that ensures you understand, right? I do this, I shouldn't show you because we are not supposed to, let me check if I have another version. Just a second. No, I don't have another version here. I may have elsewhere, so I have no option. I'll go with this version. Okay. So, how does the essay start? Because let's first talk about the title of the essay. School is bad for children. Everybody say the sentence. Say again. Once again. Do you agree? Okay, some of you said yes, sir. Okay, you are behind the camera, not to worry. Raise your hand if you agree that school is bad for children. Okay. One of you had both hands up, one of you had one hand up, two people, fine. So most of you think school is not bad for children. Okay. But you know, there are situations when school can be bad for children. If we teachers do not know how to educate. So this essay begins by making a claim. The claim is used as the title. Topic, school. And there is a statement, is bad for children. You can say, no, school is good for children. In that sense, you can say this essay is also a position argument because it takes a position between good and bad. There can be an argument, is school good? Is school bad? Two positions. And this writer goes for bad position, bad. He says it's bad. You can say, no, it's good. You can write another essay. Okay, here is an assignment. I note down the assignment. Write an essay approximately 15 paragraphs on the topic school is good for children. Full stop. Your essay should imitate IMITAT Halt's essay. You will copy his style. For example, what Halt does, there are about 15 paragraphs. First seven paragraphs deal with the problem. The next 8 paragraphs deal with the solution. See the structure of this essay. 50% of the essay discusses problem. Rest 50 discusses solution. So your essay also should deal 50% something, 50% something, you decide. Now let's begin. How does the essay start? So what the writer does is, the writer begins by illustrating how a child is before he or she enters the school or classroom. Okay, let's read it. Read it aloud. Sit down and read.
Almost every child on the first day leaves their school in a school building is smarter, more curious, less afraid of what he doesn't know, better at finding and figuring things out, more confident, resourceful, persistent, and independent than he will ever be again in his schooling, or unless he is very unusual and very lucky for the rest of his life.
Okay, wait, done. Class, what you will do, write here in a copy, note copy. Child, draw an arrow and draw a circle and make arrows like this. And here by number 1, 2, write child is 3, 4, 5, 6. And copy the adjectives that Halt uses to describe how a child is at home. Copy the adjectives. Quickly. For example, a child is smarter, curious. Third, less afraid. 4, better at finding and figuring things out. 5, confident. 6, persistent. 7, independent. Look, how does Holt begin his essay? He is telling how is every child before they come to school at home. That means our parents have developed these abilities at home. Everybody in the class together follow after me. Smarter, curious, less afraid, better at finding and figuring things out, confident, resourceful, persistent, independent. Okay, silently read all these adjectives 5 times. Silently read all these adjectives 5 times. Okay, look at me. This is how a child is on the first day he sets foot in a school. Right? I don't know if I was like that. I don't remember my childhood, but what I remember is my mother observed 1 month-long puja during Basanta Panchami in 2032 Bikram Sambat when I was 7 years old. At the end of the month, it was Basant Panchami day. My father had a big puja. He called many Brahmins, fed Brahmins, and then my father made me do the puja. I stood and my father took a book, holy book, and he handed the book in my hands. And he said, from today you are formally entering education and you will be a great learned scholar. I still remember. And he gave me a book called Amar Kosa. That was a dictionary. My father gave me a dictionary. I was formally initiated into education. Right? So I believe I was not a fool when I came to school. But I don't remember how I was. Okay. So, sorry. Hold this mic and read the second sentence from here. Read it. Don't stand up, sit down and read. Already by paying.
Already by paying.
Open the mask, your sound will be recorded clearly. Yes, go on.
Already by paying close attention to the interacting with the world and people around him, and without any school type formal instructions, he has done a task far more difficult, complicated and abstract than anything he will be asked to do in school, or than any of his teachers has done for years. He has solved the mystery of language.
Wait, no, don't read next sentence. Okay, we'll go sentence by sentence. So what do you see here? In the first sentence, if you remember, let me show the first sentence. In the first sentence, Holt said that a child is smarter. He said a child is smarter. He used these adjectives, right, to describe. Now look here, this second sentence. How has he become smarter? This second sentence is more important to pay attention to because this focuses on learning. By paying close attention to, say, if you want to learn something, you must pay very close attention to it. In my class 9 classroom at the back, there was a slogan. All my classes had a slogan in my second school. That slogan was, Chitta Ekagrata Atma Sakshatkar ki kunji hai. Meaning, concentration of the heart makes you understand everything. Still today I follow that slogan. I was barely 14 when I saw that slogan. I'm 56 today. So my school has shaped my life. Right? Concentration is key to understanding. Here Holt says, How does the child learn? Have you seen children at home? If you have a baby at home, pay attention. When you're doing something around them, they look at you very carefully. They pay attention to you. They carefully watch you doing it. And they will ask you, why are you doing it? How is it done? They ask you 1,000 questions. As we grow, we stop asking questions. If you don't believe, think again. Babies ask a lot of questions. That's why they learn faster. If you want to learn faster, ask questions. And to ask questions, you must first pay attention. If you do not pay attention, you can't ask questions because you don't know what is going on. Right? Look, the child is smart. Why? Because he pays attention. And what else? Interacting with the world. Children interact with the world. Right in this class today, right now, we are not interacting, or maybe we are interacting because I'm asking you questions. You are following me. But children do more interaction. What is that? What is that? Why that? You take them market, they will see mango. They will say, what is that, uncle? You tell them mango, and they will say, why is that mango? Now answer that question. A big question. Or you say, oh, they might ask, that's tomato? Yeah. Why is the tomato red? You can't answer this question. You have to be a scientist now. They ask questions. Why is the tomato red and the mango yellow or green? Big questions, right? So interaction. How do we learn? By paying attention. How do we learn? By interacting to the world. When I came from school, what I will do? I'll throw my bag, right? And I won't take any breakfast food, nothing. I will run outside the town. We were not in the cities like here. We had a lot of enough empty space. After walking 5 minutes, we will come to a big ground called Khalihan. In every Indian village, they have a public ground, empty ground, where the whole villagers can do agricultural work. And 15, 20 children will gather there, and we will play hide and seek there. We'll run a lot, interacting, right? I told you earlier, in the break, we'll run through the town. How do we learn? By interacting. How do we learn? By paying attention. Interacting with whom? The world and people around him. Without any school type formal instruction. See, you learned your mother tongue without going to school, didn't you? Did you have to go to school to learn a mother tongue? No. And we fools are teaching you English for the last 13 years and you don't know. There must be something wrong here. There must be something wrong here. Because we are teaching you English language the wrong way. The formal way. Look, you learned Nepali language so easily because you learned Nepali language informally. But you are not learning English language that effectively because you are learning it formally. Here is a proof that formal education may not be as effective as informal education. Okay? He has done a task far more difficult, complicated and abstract than anything he will be asked to do in school or that any of his teachers has done for years. What he has done? He has solved the mystery of language. So what does Alt say? He says a child has done a most difficult task without coming to school. What is that task? Learning a language. I tried to learn Chinese 3-4 times, but every time I would quit because at one stage I will arrive at a point where I could not do on my own. I needed a teacher. I didn't have a teacher. I will be discouraged, I'll quit. And even now, I can't learn Chinese because it's quite difficult. Look, learning language is very difficult. But the child has done. How did the child learn language? Paying attention, then, and interacting to the world and people. You have 10-month-old baby, the mama is very curious to say, Mama, Mama. Have you seen babies and moms, parents? Parents are very curious. They want the child to say Daddy, Daddy. And they insist teaching. And the child starts imitating, right? That's how you said. Maybe, do you remember what was the first word you spoke? Any memory? No. I guess maybe it was Mama, because the parents teach that word in the very beginning. The mothers teach. Say Mama, Mama. Then you learn Daddy, Daddy. If you have a brother, you learn their names. Right? If you have a cat at home, you learn the word cat, dog. Mostly learn things at home, right? Items, right? Home items. So second sentence tells that the child has learned a language in a very smart way. And he says two things. How? By paying close attention and through interaction. And we learn that learning is very effective when you learn by paying close attention and through interaction. Say with me. Attention. Interaction. Attention. Interaction. And keep in mind these two things, okay? Okay. Okay. Read the next sentence. Hold the mic and read the next sentence loudly. He has discovered it. Read it.
He has discovered it. Babies don't even know what language, even know that language exists, and he has found out how it works and learned to use it.
Okay, okay. So, third word here. In your note copy, make a circle. Make a circle and write learning and give a question mark. And write here pay attention. And then write here interact with people. Now write here discover. Discover. He has discovered it. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does the pronoun it stand for in that sentence? What has he discovered? Oh God, you have to go back to the previous sentence. Go back to the previous sentence and tell me, what does it stand for? What does it stand for? Oh God. Read the previous sentence. Silent and tell me, what does the pronoun it stand for? Huh? What does the pronoun it stand for in that sentence? It means language. Oh God, how slow. Are you slow in understanding or are you scared of answering me? It means language. So children learn by discovering. How do we learn by discovering? We learn by, look here. What do you see here? There's some mark there on my skin, right? You know how I got it? I still remember. In my village home in the mountains, there was angeno, chulo. In those days, parents would cook food, and then after finishing cooking, they will cover the fire under the ashes. And my parents left me. They went to farmhouse maybe to work. I just crawled. I was a baby, even I couldn't stand up maybe. I crawled and put my hands in the fire and burned it. There was a blister. And I remember I would take hay straw. You know hay? Straw. And I would pinch with the hay straw like this. I will keep pinching. It took a long time to heal. And still today, I have this mark. And when the application form says, विशेष चिन्ह बारे लेख्नुस्, I write, दाहिने हातको पन्जा पछाडि जलेको निशान, I write. Because for identity, they ask you typical marks. Right? What I was saying? Now, then I discovered, oh, fire burns. Fire burns. I learned this lesson that fire burns, one, by experiencing burning, second, by discovering, let's say. My example may not be very suitable. My point is, third, we learn by paying attention. We learn by interacting. Third, we learn by discovery. Move ahead. So, the child discovers how to use language. Have you seen? Did your parents correct your Nepali language when you were a child? Did they correct? No. But English teachers are very foolish. They always correct you, right? This is wrong. Our parents never said that it was wrong when we spoke a wrong sentence. Actually, what happens when we speak, if our sentences are incorrect, then we hear other people speaking same sentence. And our mind finds that the way our father is speaking and the way I'm speaking is not same. Then we follow how they speak and we learn. Right? We learn language by using. That's why we say, if you want to learn English, do 4 things maximum. What? Speak English as much as possible. Listen to English as much as possible. Read English text as much as possible. And write in English as much as possible. These are called 4 language learning skills. What are they? Reading, say with me. Writing, listening, speaking. Okay. So, next here, write here. Here you write here. Using. Right. Paying attention, interacting with the people, discovering, using. And draw more arrows. And now, someone, okay. You read the next sentence. Hold the mic and read the next sentence. But he has done it from here.
He has done it by exploring, by experimenting, by developing his own model of grammar of language, by trying it out and seeing whether it works, by gradually changing it and refining it until it does work.
Okay. Look, the child has not yet come to school. Has he come? No. Do you see what Holt is doing? Holt is criticizing education by telling that schools do not do these things. Next, right here, exploring. How do we learn? By exploring. What is exploration? Have you seen children? You go to your relative's home with a child, for example, take them in a living room. You are a guest there. Your baby is with you. Have you seen babies? They will go around the living room. They will explore, where is the TV? They will pull the TV string. Maybe they will make it fall. Maybe they will pull other things. If there is a book rack, they will pull all the books. They will enter the kitchen. They will enter the bedroom. They will go every room within 10 minutes. Have you seen this thing with babies? Take a baby in a new environment and he starts exploring what is where. Exploring. As we grow, what we do? We take our mobile phone and we explore the screen. That's why we become monkeys. We turn into monkeys. Do you explore? No. You are in the prison of the screen. You are in the prison of the screen. Last time there was a baby, there was a child here, I forgot his name. Or this class, I don't know which class. I came early. He was the first student in the classroom. And I was very carefully observing. For 30 minutes, he was playing games over there. Early morning, 6:30, he was playing games. Then I was surprised. Playing games is not a bad thing. My simple point is, what absorbed my attention is how much he is glued to the screen. This is dangerous. Being glued to the screen is dangerous. You have become addicted to the screen. The smartphone has become your addiction. Right? Discovering. Next. Okay. Exploring, right? Right, exploring. How do we learn? Right, experimenting. Right, experimenting. I'll share one experience, recent experience, how I experimented and learned recently. At my village, we have a water supply pipe like this, 3-inch pipe. From this 3-inch pipe, we have hooked a 0.5-inch pipe. And this pipe comes all the way to my home. My home. Here is my home. Right? We had a problem. When it rained, this water will be dirty with a lot of pebbles and sand. And these small pebbles will enter in this 1/2-inch pipe. And somewhere we had sockets because our pipe was damaged, so we'll connect with the socket. And these stones will come here and block the pipe. And there was no supply at home. Our parents told me this thing. I was in Kathmandu. And what I did, it took me 10 days. I went to a shop and bought a 20-liter paint bucket. This bucket I bought. And I bought one plastic bowl, filter bowl. In the market, you can get a plastic bowl to wash vegetables, which have holes. You put under the tap and you wash your vegetables, so the water goes, right? Filter type. I bought the plastic bucket, bowl. It has holes. I fitted the bucket here. And I fitted 1/2-inch pipe here. Another 1/2-inch pipe here. And this inlet I connected here. Now, this dirty water will get in this bucket through this pipe. And it will be filtered. And all the pebbles will be collected here. And clean water will get in from this side. Now my problem is solved. But there's a problem. Because of water pressure, I found that this lid is opened and it is leaking. Now what I'm doing? I'm going to engineering. I'm going to what do you call this? At TU there is a scientist. What is his name? Pun? Mr. Pun? A scientist, Mr. Pun, what's his name? Mahabir Pun. I'm going to Mahabir Pun's center at TU with this problem, and I'll ask them to help me how I can make a system without leaking water. So what I'm doing, I'm experimenting. I'm not an engineer, but I'm doing something that an engineer does. Why? To solve my home problem. To solve my home problem. I'm pretty sure today I'll be able to solve it. Now next Saturday, I'll go home with that tool and solve my problem. We learn by experimenting. Do you experiment? I don't know. Write down next in the circle. Right here, experimenting. Then next, developing models right here. Right here. Developing models. Okay. Then next, right here, trying out. Right here, trying out. Trying out. Then right here, changing and adjusting. Changing and adjusting. Then right here, refining. Refining. Okay. Now write a question. Write a question. Quickly, quickly. In a paragraph, describe how a child learns. In a paragraph, describe how a child learns. Keep writing until I say stop. The answer is today's class. Start writing. Start writing. Start writing. Start writing. Start writing. Write as fast as possible. Write as fast as possible. How does the child learn? The answer is today's class. Write as fast as possible. Write as fast as possible.